Welcome to 5 Good Minutes
You're listening to today's inspirational message.
with Brady Randall.
Well, in honor of Memorial Day week, we are looking at John chapter 10, verses 1 through 18, and how Jesus willingly laid down his life for his people. Here's what we read in verses 11 to 13. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep. So when he sees the wolf coming, he abandons the sheep and runs away. Then the wolf attacks the flock and scatters it. The man runs away because he is a hired hand and cares nothing for the sheep. Now, a hired hand is someone who would have taken care of the sheep for money, but the shepherd does it because he loves the sheep. And when Jesus says, I am the good shepherd, he's invoking another one of the I am statements, which harkens back to God's own name, his covenantal name of Yahweh, which means I am who I am, or I will be who I will be. And here Jesus unapologetically claims, I am the good shepherd. And the term shepherd would have led Jesus' hearers to think of how God was the shepherd in the Old Testament. King David was first a shepherd before he was a king, and he would risk his own life for his sheep. And now here is Jesus essentially claiming to be God. He says, I am the good shepherd. King David, who famously penned Psalm 23, wrote, The Lord is my shepherd, therefore there is nothing that I lack. So Jesus, as the shepherd, not only has his sheep's best interest in mind, but he's willing to lay down his life for the sake of the sheep. So when the hired hand may run away at the first sight of danger, not so with Jesus. He saw the attacks coming from the religious leaders. He knew what the cross entailed. In fact, he knew what he was about to experience, that the weight of the sin of the world, his Father's wrath against sin, was about to be poured out on him, and it literally had him sweating drops of blood before he went to the cross. And yet he went resolutely to the cross to lay down his life for you and for me and for his Father. And so today I invite you to look again, or maybe for the first time, at this good shepherd. Look at his compassion for you. Look at how he gave you his last breath. He cried out on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? He was willing to be forsaken so that you and I would never have to be. Now, what kind of love is this? That he would exchange and give up his life for ours. You see, God's desire is that you and I would be overwhelmed with that kind of love and sacrifice, and that if he was willing to go to such lengths, if he was willing to spare not his own son, but willingly gave him up for us all, will he not also graciously give us all things? You see, Jesus as the good shepherd not only laid down his life, but he took it up again. And we'll look at that theme tomorrow. But the shepherd is still guiding and leading his sheep today. And he may lead you and I into paths that we're not so sure about, paths that may even include the valley of the shadow of death. But it was specifically because he laid down his own life that you can trust him. Even when you can't see the way, when it's dark, for you know that he is the way, that he is the truth, and he is the life. And you can trust him with your very life because he gave his for yours. And so my prayer for you, my encouragement for me and for you is that you and I will respond with thanksgiving, saying, thank you, Jesus, for bearing the cross, for laying down your life so that we could ultimately find ours.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.